What's up, everybody? It's Karma, also known as Jamie here, and today I'm going to bring you guys a new nuclear gameplay on slums, and I'm just going to get into talking about how you can improve your gameplay. A lot of people have been asking me tips to improve your gameplay, so today I'm going to try and run through just the basic ideas of what I do to try and improve my gameplay, because I was terrible when this game first came out. It takes an adjustment period from Call of Duty to Call of Duty, but I'm going to try and help you guys, even though it's a little late in Black Ops 2, and get you prepared for Ghost and what you should try and do and set up yourself for success. So let's get right into it. I find that a lot of people ask me how I became better at Black Ops, and you guys see the highlights now, and if you follow me on Twitch, you see me play now, where I am much better than I was when the game first came out. When this game first came out, I was so bad. I mean, I used to just, bum rush the objective, and I would just not care if I died. I would just keep going over and over to the objective, and that's mostly why I reset my stats, because my stats weren't reflecting how I actually played, and when I was on my stream, I ended up taking a poll and voted to reset my stats. But one of the ways that I found that I improved my gameplay the most was getting used to my guns first, because your gun obviously is the most important part of your gameplay. You have to know your recoil on your gun. When you aim, you have to understand where your gun's going to recoil and then adjust your aim accordingly so that you're not missing bullets when you shoot at somebody. If you're shooting at someone and the gun's wobbling all over the place and you're not hitting them with it, you're going to end up dying. And you don't want to do that. So one thing I would recommend is finding a gun that you like, getting used to it, and planning accordingly. And when I say plan accordingly, I'm talking about the map that you're going to be playing on when you start the game. I usually have a close map set up and a long range map set up, whereas the assault rifles, there are certain assault rifles you can use on any map type, but what I mean is when you play on a long-range map like Carrier, you want to use an assault rifle. Something with long range that can reach enemies at a distance, because most of the time you're going to be shooting at people from far away on a big map like that, whereas in a map like Hijacked, you're probably going to want to use a submachine gun, which will give you an advantage in short-range situations like the MP7. Something like that, where you want to put yourself in an advantage at all times, and that also includes hiding your body more than the enemy. And what I mean by that is, if you watch me play a lot, I usually am trying to hide my body. I don't like to make it a fair fight. What you want to do is make it an advantage in your area. You kind of want to hide behind things. As you see me hiding behind this car, making myself hard to see, and then I look out that doorway and I can see people's full bodies running toward me. They can't even see me, I can see their full bodies. It's an easy kill. It's things you want to set yourself up for like that that'll just make it easy. You always want to peek around things. Never run out into the open unless you for sure know that there's no one coming. And that gets into my next point. One of the most underused parts of Call of Duty, I think, for players who are just starting out is the UAV box up there if you don't play hardcore. 90% of the time my eyes are looking at that UAV and they're not really looking at what's in front of me. The UAV can tell you so much about the game. It tells you where your teammates are, so you can guess where the enemy won't be spawning. And if you know the spawns, which is another thing you need to get to know, but I will cover that in a minute, you can guess where the enemy's going to come from and not venture off too far from where you're currently going to be. If you see your teammates on one side of the map and you know the spawns, then you know that the enemy is going to be spawning away from them and more towards their side. Unless you're playing headquarters, in which case I have no idea where the enemy is going to spawn, because the headquarters in this game, the spawns are so crazy. So that's just like a mad free-for-all. But an important part of any gameplay, or especially domination in this case, because I'm mainly a domination player, is knowing your spawns. You want to know where your enemy's coming from at all times. You don't have to know them exactly to the point. You just kind of want to know the areas and identify them in your head. What you want to do is eventually learn them over time. You can tell where teams are going to spawn and based on where your teammates are, based on where you are, based on where the flag is, there's so many things that once you get used to this game, they're just kind of second nature in your head. You can tell where the enemy's going to spawn. And sometimes there's always that exception where they spawn where you don't think they're going to spawn, but they're always usually in the general area. You want to try and conceal your body as much as possible and try to lure your opponent into showing their body as much as possible. On every map, I find a little spot where I can see the enemies coming at me and they show their full body, and a spot where I can hide my body and see them, and they can only see a part of me, like the shoulders up, or only my the small part of my head or something like that, where it gives you an advantage when you're in a kill streak situation. If you're a few kills away from your kill streak, I usually try and get to my spot so that I know where the spawns are, where the enemies are going to be coming from, how I'll have the advantage with my body being concealed and they'll be out in the open. What you want to do is try and surprise somebody. You never want to be guessable. You kind of have to roam the map in a certain way so that you're not in high trafficked areas, as I like to refer to them as. I will just use this map for an example right there. I just looked down the middle of the map. Those two alleyways are high trafficked areas. A lot of people go running through there. Also, this back doorway is high traffic area, and the other side of the map. So what you want to do is set up like I am right in here, and I'm close to my kill streak, and I know where they're going to be coming from. It's through that door or to the left of B. And also, I'm hiding behind this crate. Why am I hiding behind this crate? Because first of all, it gives me a good look at the door, and second of all, if people are coming from the left side of B, I'm going to be behind this, so if I start to get hit, I can prone, hide, and turn. So to sum up, we learned today, as I get my nuclear here in just a second, is that you want to learn your gun's recoil. You want to hide yourself, make yourself a disadvantage to other people, conceal your body as much as possible, make it a disadvantage fight, and know your spawns. I finished this gameplay 64-1. I didn't want to run the end of it. It goes about another 2 minutes. I don't die. I just keep getting unstoppable. Let me know if you guys like this gameplay. You like me giving tips and stuff like that. A lot of you guys recommended it, so I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, peace out, guys. Have a nice day.